Hello, I'm Wendell Miller from Hidden Creek Pasture. Today in this video I want to show you how to assemble the poly fence lifter. If you bought a complete kit, it will come with your programmer, the short pipe assembly, a small cowbell, and your step-in attachment. To assemble it, you're going to need a 7-foot piece of PVC pipe, 8 AA batteries, some pipe glue, a screwdriver, straight screwdriver, and a drill or impact to put in your step-in attachment. To start out with, we are going to glue the short pipe assembly to the top of the pipe. So just glue it up here onto the top. Next, you want to install your controller. You want to put your controller at the height that you want your fence to be. For me, I'm just going to use my step-in pigtail. Make sure my insulator's at about the height that my fence will run with the pigtail. And then I'll fasten it to the pipe. I want the controller and insulator directly down from the pulley on the short pipe assembly. And then just take a straight screwdriver or 8mm and tighten up the clamps. Next, you'll go ahead and untie the string from the short pipe assembly. At this point, if you want the bell installed, you'll want to slip the string through the bell and then slip it through the top of your insulator and tie it to the insulator. You want to make sure that weight inside the pipe is pretty snug when you tie it to your insulator. So we'll tie it to the insulator now. Once you have it tied to the insulator, you can cut off any excess string that you have. Next, we're going to install the step-in attachment to the bottom of the pipe. To do that, pretty simple. Just put it up the inside of the pipe. 5/16 bit with the included screw. And just anywhere on the bottom here. And there, that's attached. Now we'll go ahead and set it up and program it. Just simply step it into the ground. Next, we'll need to install our 8 AA batteries into the lid or the face of the programmer. Okay, now that we have the batteries installed, we'll put the lid back on. And then there's a small on-off switch here beside the battery pack. You want to turn that to the on position. Once you do that, you're going to want to just test it to make sure it's working. To do that, you'll press the manual button right here. As you see on the screen, it says auto. As I press the manual button, it switches to off, back to auto, and then on. That released the timer, so it's working. Press it, put it back to auto, and then you'll want to reset it again, pull it back down, push it into the side, and it's set to go again. Now that you have the switch turned on to on, the one thing I recommend that you do is always press the clear button. That completely resets everything, just to make sure that there's no settings that are messed up or whatever. So to set the time, you'll press and hold the clock button, and then you select which day of the week it is. Today's Wednesday. set the time. All while pressing and holding the clock button. Once you're done setting the time, just release the clock button. Now you have your time set. Now, to set your program for whenever you want it to go off, you press the P button here, press it. So now you have it set to the 01 on time. This is where you program the time that you want it to activate for your fence to lift. You just select program and then press the day to select which day you want it to go. Like this would do every day of the week. We'll just set it to go off on Wednesday here today, and then we'll set the time. So we'll set it for, let's say, 15:15. So we'll put it to Wednesday here, and then we'll set it to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or 15, and set the minutes to 15. So it will go off on Wednesday at 3:15 in the afternoon. Now you hit the program again, and so now you're on 1, but this is the off time, and you want to set the off time to only 1 minute later than the on time. So set everything else exactly the same. So we'll set this to Wednesday. $15, but we'll do 1 minute later, so we'll do it to 16. Now if we hit the clock button, now it's saved and it will go off at 3:15 in the afternoon. If you want to set more than one program, you hit the program. So here you see what we already set, the number 1 at 3:15 in the afternoon on. The off time is 1 minute later. You can just hit the program again, and now you're at your second program on, off, and so forth. But every time you hit the clock button, it saves it, puts it back to your time. You always want to make sure this is on automatic. That's so it will activate, but if you want to make so it doesn't run by the timer, you can hit the manual button to turn it on to off, or like we had showed before, you can press it and then it will release if you have it in the on. So as soon as that thing goes to 3:15 or 15:15, it will activate and your fence should lift. So here in just a few seconds, it'll go off. So there it activated. Now because this is a weekly timer, it will stay on for that entire minute, and then it'll kick back off, and the timer will kick back off, everything will be shut down. One little feature is this test thing. This is basically just press the test button to see what your battery level is. But that's pretty much the basic system there. I do recommend that if you are not using it, that you have the turn the battery pack off. So just come in here and turn it off if you're not using it for a longer period of time. So that's how to assemble the Hidden Creek poly fence lifter. If you have any troubles, there's a few things I recommend. First of all, make sure you have good batteries in it. Second, make sure that the switch is turned on, and then also clear the timer and start all over again. Those are kind of the first 3 things to do if you are running into any problems. Do that first. If you have any other questions, you can find my information if you visit my website, www.hiddencreekpasture.com. There'll be a link for that in the description, and you can also go there if you want to order any more. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.